Hey everyone, my name is Austin. I'm a senior product designer at GitLab, the compliance team this week. I was only here for a few days, but that doesn't mean we don't have a packed agenda. So the first thing I wanted to share was we wrapped up the design effort around the status checks. So if you check out this epic, it shows you all the different um, issues that we had open to show how these will progress. Specifically for status checks, we have the different variations in the different states. Those are now going to show up in Figma. So that's pretty great. What I learned as I came back this week is we will be using a working group to do the implementation. So that has yet to be decided, but there will be a working group assigned to actually go and do the implementation for the design effort that we did. So I don't think that means the compliance group specifically will be implementing the update to status checks, but we'll keep an eye on it. The next thing is we have a Q3 OKR in which we'll be conducting, or I'll be conducting a UX scorecard alongside a buddy. So I have opened that up. Essentially, what's going to happen is we'll assign, Sam and I will pick a job, and then another designer is going to try and perform that job. It's going to be Daniel Fosco. And the goal here is to look for learning opportunities and to create some actionable insights from it to continue to improve like our onboarding experience in GitLab. We'll see how that goes, and I'm interested to see if we get some useful feedback or if we struggle. Next, I just wanted to share that there was an update to the handbook, which brought in some inspiration from the Auto DevOps design sprint. It kind of talks around how to run it, who should be involved, the time frame, that kind of stuff. We haven't done one in our group ourselves. We'll consider that if it makes sense for us in the future. But it's just a way to help try and create a repeatable pattern for other teams to replicate if they decide that that's the right tool for them to solve a bigger problem. Also, spurring off of a conversation I had with Rob and Ian last week around the settings placement of messages. One area that I would really love to try and clarify is like, where do we display feedback to the user? Right now in settings, I most commonly see it displayed as a flash message as it appears at the top, whether that's a success or a failure or a success message displayed as an info alert. I think what would make more sense to me is getting in-page alerts when there's errors and getting toast notifications when the save of the section was successful. Ideally, an async refresh state, not refreshing the entire page. It kind of is a disjointed experience. So I'm wondering to see where that will go. Maybe it'll be documented, maybe it won't. I'll keep you posted. I'm not going to open this one since it's a private issue, but just as we consider our safe framework on what we should be discussing, I think the one thing that we call out is like we don't want to share the system usability scale externally. That's just going to be something we're going to keep internally. Most of the stuff though listed in there is something that we can usually be transparent about, but our self score is just something we're going to keep a little bit closer. And then additionally, today I learned that you can set default branch protections. I honestly didn't know this was a setting, but it is. So it kind of makes the initial proposal of this null and void because you already can create a sensible default at your group level. It's just overridable right now. And then additionally, what's a bit of an annoying thing is it doesn't have all of the different variations that you could create with the drop-down options and the toggles. So it leaves you a little empty-handed if you wanted to configure someone to be allowed to push or setting no one as the default. You can't really do those things. So kind of need to figure out if we want to basically extend the drop-down option using the cascading setting. That probably is the smallest change here. Or conversely, we could maybe replace the drop-down option altogether and put the form in there. That way, we would have to manage all the different variations and come up with the text for basically the same thing. So we'll see where that goes. But today I learned, I had no idea that was there. Good thing we didn't implement it just yet because it would have been a conflicting feature for sure. So Great call out there, Carlos, for highlighting that for our team. And that's it. Catch you next week.